was trying to get out of here. Alright guys. What kind of parking's? Look. Use of rubbish parking. Oh well. I've just been in John Lewis, so I've lost the note. Yes, I decided to stick the note that I was using as my note. Sticky note. 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 That it's gone missing. No, I stuck it on the helmet and it's come off somewhere. But so I'll have to try and remember. Actually, if you're over here. Right. So. Right. Peugeot. Obviously, they make cars. But they actually started originally making, I think, bikes rather than cars first. More importantly, they were one of the first to start making mopeds and small little bikes. In fact, they actually made more, the main income, or their main sales were motorbikes back in the 50s. It was 50s? I'm not sure. But anyway, they don't seem to make that many anyway nowadays. I think people are just a bit pessimistic that they're bad, when they're not actually, they're quite good. And actually, here's my point. I actually think it's actually led to believe that actually Peugeot cars are pretty well built. In fact, their diesel engines are considered to be the best diesel engines you can buy in terms of use and reliability. And they actually say that Peugeot, all the underneath stuff, the chassis, suspension, like an engine, gearbox, are all extremely reliable. They say it's let down by one thing: the electronics. The electronics are shockingly bad and awful. And that's what lets Peugeot cars down. So should you buy a Peugeot moped? That's actually, go ahead and buy one, because especially the 50cc, go and get a 50cc 2-stroke or the 125 4-strokes or the Vivid Cities and stuff and speed bikes, because they're actually well built. It's not necessarily not like it's full of electronics inside them, is there? It's not like it's got like an engine manifold, no, an engine mapping, engine mobiliser, engine ECU, which all go wrong. In fact, my dad's Renault van recently had £600 spent just on electronics. He does 79,000 miles. Something to do with the DCI mapping of the engine or something, I can't remember what it was. So it wasn't cheap. But the Peugeot mopeds themselves aren't cheap to buy. And actually they hold their value just like the Japanese bikes. So I certainly say go ahead, buy a Peugeot bike, well not necessarily a Peugeot car. Actually, I'd buy a Peugeot car. They're nice. They're good. They're quite good-looking cars, really. Except for the new, like, as the time goes on, they're getting quite ugly now. They seem to be pointlessly making new cars. Look, his chain's coming off. This is where lane splitting comes into use. I wonder if, let's see. There's a police car ahead. I can get behind him. Like so, see? And they're pretty much near the front of the line now, so we're going to move over in a minute once we get around this roundabout. At least he's not that speeding one I had the other time, remember? Yeah, of course I'm going on dual carriageway now. So it's going to get quite noisy and quite windy. Especially going to do about 60-65. So anyway, end that. Should I buy a Peugeot car and van? Van? Moped? Yeah, but just the electronics are quite poor, so just be aware of that. So actually it'd be quite good if you're good into car electronics. You can fix it yourself very extremely cheaply. So, goodbye for now, guys. I was so camp, I was. Such a camp goodbye. Yeah, see you later.